Welcome back. Today we are comparing Tesla versus General Motors. My name is Kyle Livingston. This is the Money Magic Channel, and let's just jump right into this, guys. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this, it doesn't matter if you turn on Bloomberg, BNN, every time they talk about Tesla, they're always comparing it to General Motors, Ford, all these other car companies. And I want to tell you why. And it's really hard for people to wrap their heads around, but I'm going to do a quick deep dive into this. We're going to quickly look at their market caps. Tesla's trading about a $63.5 billion valuation, guys, whereas GM is trading at about a $50.4 billion valuation. And the reason this gets nutty is when you look at their basic books. If you look at their balance sheet, I just took a few things out of their balance sheet that I always find interesting. The first thing is the amount of cars sold, guys. The amount of cars these companies have sold. Tesla has sold about 154,220 cars this year alone, whereas GM is sitting at a whopping 2,443,446 cars and trucks sold just in the US and Canada alone. Pretty staggering difference. Now let's look at their liabilities really quickly here, guys. Tesla's sitting at about $23.5 billion in liabilities, whereas GM is sitting at about $76 billion in liabilities. Tesla has about $28 billion in assets, and GM has about $212 billion in assets, which would just be factories, employees, things of that such, guys. So there's a massive difference just in these little fundamentals alone that are quite staggering. Tesla has almost as much liability as they have assets, whereas at least GM is sitting on a pretty healthy amount of assets versus liability. These things are what make Tesla a high risk company, guys. They have been really building out those factories, their gigafactories and all the craziness. But before I jump into it, we'll look at the last thing here real quick, which is number of employees. I always find this fascinating to see how much a company can hire employees versus their sales in the same industries. It's a very fun thing to compare to see what companies are more, I'm going to say, strategic or find more systems that allow them to hire less people. Tesla's sitting about 37,500. GM is sitting about 180,000 employees. Let's talk about why Tesla is worth a whopping $163 billion versus GM and where the value lies in this company, guys, and why I have also been buying some shares in Tesla. Not a lot, but I have been buying some moderate shares in this company. I don't own any other car companies, but I don't want to call Tesla a car company. And this is another one of the reasons I think Tesla has done so well. Of course, the majority of their business is through cars, but they have a lot of other avenues, which is very interesting. But let's focus on the cars first here, okay? Tesla has done something no other car company has done in a very, very long time. There is an interesting documentary called, and I really suggest you watch it, it's called Who Killed the Electric Car? I can't remember exactly what car company started electric cars. It was very innovative, and they thought, they were going to be the dominant electric car owner. But when you find out there are more repairs, more liabilities, more things to charge on a regular car that is combustion, you kind of don't want to go toward the electric range. And these big car companies, they don't care about electric cars. They don't care about the economy. They don't care about carbon tax if you're in Canada. What they care about the most is making sure that you're going to keep buying their products. So if you went out and spent $80,000 on a very nice brand new GM truck or something like that, you're also going to end up having to pay for warranties. You're going to have to pay for subscriptions to like Sirius Satellite. Like, they have all these systems. Their GPS systems you have to pay for on top of that in a subscription service. Like, they've really found these nooks and crannies. You're going to be needing repairs and oil changes, and there's just a lot. Whereas with Tesla cars and electric cars in particular, there are hardly anything to do with maintenance. Like, you're really not dealing with pistons, oil changes, any of that stuff. If you look at an electric motor compared to a combustion motor, there are way less moving parts. Like, it's so much simpler. And if these car companies want to compete in the electric car space, they need to build an infrastructure for charging. They need to find a way to make that work. And so far, none of them have started working with Tesla. If you look at Tesla's charging stations, they made it so you can travel all over the US and be able to charge in a very quick time. And right now, all of these other car companies can't compete with that. None of them have an infrastructure to suit that. Elon Musk said that he was open to allowing car companies to work with them if they wanted to get in to self-charging and things like that, but there's not a whole lot going on. Porsche is coming out with their sports electric car, and I think the sales start in 2020. I think all of these car companies are slowly moving to electric, and I think even GM said by 2025, Ford, I think they're all generally saying that most 80% of their cars will be electric by 2025, and they're losing this game, guys. If you look at how fast Tesla is growing sales, it is absolutely absurd. Tesla is one of the fastest growing companies right now, and they are still small, which makes it quite impressive. And the other impressive part about Tesla is when you look at how fast their sales are growing, they still haven't introduced the tractor trailers they have built. They still haven't introduced any of the sports cars, or their first sports car that's coming out that does 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds, an absurd speed. Their cars are non-comparable and non-competable. They pretty much outdo it in every class with their car. Like, I'm talking accident ratings. They have some of the highest accident ratings on their cars. Like, I can't get over how every little nook and cranny, like when I was just saying about GM charging for their GPS, that's all free for Tesla. Their upgrades are free. Everything is free pretty much once you get this car. They have 8-year warranties on their batteries and motors, no matter how much you drive the car. I think most GM vehicles have like a 2 or 3 year warranty, or it's something to like 60,000 kilometers. It's staggering to me, the differences in how Tesla's approached the car industry. Now, I absolutely love this company. I don't love it enough to own a ton of it, but in future potential, when you look at all the other things they're doing as well, they are looking into building solar roof panels that they've been evolving quite a lot. They haven't gotten into sales because I think Elon said they need to perfect them. They want them to have like a 40-year life expectancy before they introduce them to the market. That's when you have to look at Tesla as more of a technology company. They are hiring engineers to design factories better, design cars better, design roofs better. They're introducing their power walls that's going to allow you to drop your power bill in half. Those wall batteries are really, really cool. I've been looking at those for years. Now, I want to compare Tesla to Apple. When Steve Jobs and them got into Apple, it was really rocky in the beginning, but once they started to prove themselves and they had a staple, and people, like the hype around iPhones and when phones became a big deal, is what I am seeing right now with Tesla in their cars. Anyone that buys them loves them. Anything to do with Tesla has been like super overhyped. More importantly, are you guys buying Tesla? Do you like Tesla? Are you buying their stock? Are you buying their cars? Let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I am not going to buy a Tesla car anytime soon. It's definitely not on my list. But maybe with a $5,000 investment in Tesla at a $63 billion market cap, and it goes up to $500 billion, you'd be sitting on a cool 50 G's. You could even use that money to go out and buy your own Tesla. That is the way I look at companies, guys. That is why I like Apple so much, because Apple makes you enough money with a rather small investment to actually buy their products and be able to afford them every year. But stay cool, stay awesome, guys, and I will see you tomorrow.